Good evening, believers. How are you doing today? This is Love Coach Dasha coming to you today for the Healing Hour Live. Now, if you've never been with me before, I am a love coach and I am specifically laser focused on helping women who want to stay in their relationship after infidelity. You've been through some trauma. You are with somebody that you love, but they've betrayed you. And yes, that is deep trauma. Yes, that is big things that you are doing, but you do not have to give up that relationship. I know everybody's advice is kick him to the curb, girl, leave him. Don't be with him. You're teaching him how to treat you. You're telling him and you can be a doormat. I know all of the things. I know because they said them to me when I was going through this. We are 15 years past the last D-Day, not the first, but the last. And everybody said the same thing to me. And the problem with that is I love my husband. I loved him from the very first moment I met him. I thought it was a spiritual connection. Even though he was capable of doing something like this, I still didn't stop believing in our fairy tale. I didn't stop believing that this was the person for me. All right. And if you are still in that space where you're like, this is my person. They're just my person. Yes, he's an idiot. Yes, he is. He did something incredibly stupid and hurt me entirely too badly for me to even be able to stand up straight. However, he's still the person that I love and I want to be with. And I'm here to tell you that that is absolutely possible. You can do that. You can be with the person that you love after infidelity. And I'm here to tell you all about it. All right. So, if you've never been with me before, go ahead and hit StreamYard.com/Facebook. If you're with me on Facebook, it will allow me to see your name as it pops up with comments and stuff on the screen, okay? That helps me out a ton, although I'm looking at all the screens on my computer. So, let's see. Even if you don't go to it, I'll still be able to keep up, but it's just a little easier. Let me refresh this so I can see myself on Facebook. I am here streaming live to Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, all Love Coach Dasha. If you are not in my Facebook page, come on over to my Facebook group, Love After Cheating, okay? This is the group where we are singularly focused on getting back together, staying together, not letting this be the end of your story, okay? All right, everybody's here. Hello, hello. Glad that you're all here. Make sure you give me likes, lots of comments. That's super helpful to me in the algorithm. Let Facebook know how much you love me, and Instagram and YouTube. Help me out here. All right, because I want to help you out. I want you to know exactly what you need to do to start to heal from this infidelity. And the very first thing that we always talk about, that I'm always going to tell you, that I'm always going to remind you about, is doing your deep breathing. Have you been doing your deep breathing? Have you been doing that five times a day? If you've not been doing that, before anything else, that's what I want you to do. Before anything else starts, I need you to get control over your breath. This is a trauma, and trauma is not just a mental thing, okay? That's where we get messed up because we don't think about trauma as being a physical thing as well as a mental and emotional thing, okay? You've got to get control over what your body is doing right now. Your brain is pressing that button in your head, that amygdala, the scared button, the worst case scenario button. It keeps pressing that button, and every time that button gets activated, you get an adrenaline rush, you get that fight or flight sense, and you get more and more triggered. You do not have to keep doing that. If you can start working on the bodily part of that reaction, showing your brain, even when it presses that button, that you don't need that reaction, you're going to start to change the way that reaction happens, okay? So, first and foremost, we're going to do our deep breathing together. Come on in here. Do your deep breathing with me, okay? What we do is 4-7-8 breathing. Now, what that is you blow out. You're going to exhale so you can deflate your lungs as much as possible. We want to get out as much carbon dioxide is built up in there, get enough space so we can get some oxygen in. that carbon dioxide buildup in your lungs actually tells your brain that something is wrong with you, and it freaks you out even more. All right. So when you are hyperventilating, you are inhaling, but you're not fully exhaling. And then that carbon dioxide builds up. So just blowing out, like you're blowing out birthday candles, is super helpful. When you are stressed out, when you are anxious, when you are triggered, the first thing that you can do is close your eyes and blow like you are trying to blow all of the air out of your lungs. That in and of itself will be helpful, okay? But then do your deep breathing right behind it 5 times a day. We're going to do it 3 times together, but we are going to do it all together, blowing out. Inhale for a count of 4. Hold that breath for count of 7, and then blow out like you're blowing out an entire cake full of birthday candles for a count of 8. Okay. If you don't get it the first couple of times, trust me, you'll have it by the third time. Okay. If you smoke, if you've got bronchitis, if you've got allergies, that type of stuff, it makes it a little teeny bit difficult. But if you've got all that stuff, deep breathing is good for that too. Okay. Just so you know, from my nurse standpoint, if you are having trouble with your lungs, if you're having trouble with your breathing, it's good to do deep breathing. All right. All right. So we are going to do our deep breathing together. Blow out, in for 4, hold for 7, and then blow out for 8. Now I'll count it out for you. All right. First things first, you're going to blow. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, doesn't that feel lovely? How do you feel when you are doing your deep breathing? You should feel pretty good, okay? Even if it makes you a little sleepy, that's fine, because you probably haven't been resting very well anyhow. If it makes you a little bit more alert because you're finally getting some fresh oxygen up to your brain, that's a good thing too. So it is always good to do your deep breathing. Even if you are in a situation where you're triggered, you're stressing out about something that is not this trauma, you can use that deep breathing technique all the time. It is always going to help calm you, center you, get good fresh oxygen up to your brain so that your brain doesn't keep freaking out thinking that you're about to die. Okay. It is a beautiful thing. Work on that. All right. Every single day. I promise you that will make a difference all by itself, because we are working on the bodily reaction, not just, oh, I need to calm down. Yeah. You can tell yourself that all you want to, but if your body is steadily freaking out, producing all that adrenaline, your breath is catching every couple of seconds, you are not going to be able to convince yourself that you are safe. But when you do your deep breathing says, body, I am safe. Brain, I am safe. It is okay to let down the guard. It is okay to stop this. All right. And if you want to get rid of that up and down, that roller coaster feeling, you want to get off this crazy ride, start with your deep breathing. Okay. Everybody with me on that? Have you been doing your deep breathing? Let me know how well that goes for you. Second thing that we always are going to talk about every time I come to you, I will say these words: do your journaling. Have you been doing your journaling? I always ask you because I want to know, I want to hear from you that you've been doing your journaling, okay? Because you really need to be doing that. If you can sit down with your thoughts for about 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening, you are going to be able to process things better. You'll be able to put stuff down in your journal before you go to bed at night and sleep better. You'll be able to get up in the morning sit with your journal, put down your plan for the day, and know how you're going to handle a trigger. Know how you're going to handle things that are going to come to you in the day with your sanity intact. Okay. That, along with the deep breathing, what's that, 15 minutes of work that I'm asking you for, that you be consistent with every day if you want to heal? I don't think that's asking too much. Okay. 15 minutes of self care is not that big a deal. Do it. Just go for it. Your journal needs to have a few key things you need to have. Well, whatever cute journal you want. This is a fuzzy one. All right. Whatever journal that you want to write in it. Whatever makes you inspired to open it and write in it, write in it. Okay. First things first, you need your date, you need your time, you need your level of anxiety. Date and time is so that you have records. This is not just a journal, this is a scientific record of what is going on with you, how your body is reacting, how you are being triggered, how your progress along the healing path. That's what's in this journal. Okay. If you're not filling this out, you're not giving yourself clues. You're not giving yourself signposts. You're not reminding yourself of, hey, I actually had a really great week this week. I felt really good about it. I didn't think about it all week. I didn't throw it in his face all week long. And we were really feeling close and vibing this week. You won't know that because your brain will try and erase every good moment that you have. So if you are steadily writing them down in your journal, you can't forget. Your brain cannot block them out and make you feel like they never happened because you know they happened. You have dates, you have times, okay? Your level of anxiety is 0 to 10, okay? That goes at the very beginning and then after you finish, because at the top, it'll be a little bit higher of a number. By the end of the journal entry, after about 5 minutes of journaling, you should feel a little bit better than that top number. So it should be down a little bit. 0 to 10. 0 is no anxiety whatsoever. You are great. God's in his heaven. All's right with the world. Okay. If you have that moment, write that down. Right? That is important to go in your journal. Do not forget about the good moments because you'll need those later on. All right. You'll need those in the moments where your doubt and your fear and your anger is breaking you down and making you think that nothing good has ever happened between the two of you. Okay. And you've never felt good about him ever. Okay. That is when you need that. All right. Then there's 10. 10 is a loss of control. 10 is rip my hair out, tear my clothes off, run screaming down the street naked. Okay. That is a 10. If you are not at that level of loss of control of yourself, which means that you are probably screaming, throwing something, you might be running in the street naked. If you are not doing all of that, you are not at a 10. If you are sitting down at your journal, you may be feeling like an 8. You may be feeling even like a 9, but you are not at a 10 because you are not out of control of yourself. Okay. And then at the very beginning, you write the number. At the very end, you write the number. It is a very simple exercise to show yourself that you can make yourself feel better. It's not that hard. It's not a difficult thing to do. You can do it. Okay. All right. Next thing I'm always going to talk to you about, because I like good news. Okay. I hear a lot of bad news. All right. Doing this as a line of profession, I hear a ton of bad news. So I want you to recognize the fact that you need a practice of gratitude if you're going to ever heal. All right. You need a practice of mindfully thinking about and being grateful for the good things in your life, because this trauma can block it out. Like I said before, trauma is tricky. It will try and block out the good things that are happening in your life and make you believe that nothing is good. Nothing is good. Nothing is to be appreciated. But there are in your life every single solitary day wonderful things. Okay. There are great things that are happening to you right now. And if you don't pay attention to those things, guess what? You're not going to be the type of person who can see them and appreciate them and feel them. You will shut down that part of your brain and make that part of your brain be like, well, I don't need that. I don't need to see good in anything. I am always looking for the bad. All right. What you train your brain to do, it will do. If you are consistently looking for the bad, you will find it. But if you are always looking for something to be grateful for, to be happy about, you will find it. I promise you. All right. And gratitude is a little bit easier than happiness. Being grateful for something is a little bit easier of a positive feeling than being happy. All right. If we can't um just if we have a hard time moving from misery, it is a lot easier to get to gratitude than it is to get to happiness. All right. So look for those things every single day. And for that reason, I always do Thirsty Thursday. I want to hear the good stuff that's going on in your life. I want to know what good things you are celebrating this week. Besides this trauma going on in your life, there are the good things. Let's celebrate them together. So if you're with me right now and you've got a good thing for Thirsty Thursday, let me know because nobody posted on the post. So I want to hear about the good stuff. Ooh, Elise. Hello, Elise. You got some good Thirsty Thursday news for me. You said we went to the Ocean City together this past weekend and had a great time. And another vacation for us coming up Labor Day weekend. I am grateful that we're doing well. Elise, I am so glad. I am tickled pink to hear that you are doing well. I am glad for that. That is a good thing. Okay. You are having good times together. You are building new memories, recreating this relationship. We're not going to keep on being all devastated and broken down and angry and contentious with each other. We don't need to do that. Life is hard enough as it is. You might as well have fun with the person you love if you can. So I am all for that. Good job, Elise. I'm glad you're having good times. Caitlin, you said yesterday he was angry about something, not sure what, but when he saw me crying, he got up and hugged me when I asked. I had an interview on Tuesday and was told to call back about scheduling the second interview, but they had already filled the position by the time I called back the next day. I know that's such a jerk off thing to do, I swear. And you're like, if you're gonna ask, if you're gonna tell me to schedule it, why are you gonna fill the position before I even call? I know. It's such a pathetic thing to do. Let's see. So I was upset about that. I'm still waiting to hear back from other places I've applied for. Okay, good. He took me and his dad out to dinner yesterday and made me feel better. It was like how it was before everything happened. We were joking and laughing at each other. Yes, Caitlin, you can let it be like it was before. I know it seems like, oh, it could just never be like that again. It can be like that. It will not be exactly the same as it was before because nothing is like that. We shouldn't be aiming for keeping our relationships the same as they've always been. We're supposed to learn and grow in love. That is what love is for. It's to make us more the people that we are supposed to be. And so we're going to have hardships, and then we overcome those hardships. We grow from them. So you are having these good times, showing yourself that you have grown. You have gotten to a better place. Yes, sometimes you may have problems. Yes, sometimes you may feel like, oh, why am I doing this? But this is why you're doing it, because you have a person who loves you enough that they see, oh my goodness, you are crying, you are having a hard time. Let me fix it. Let me help you. Let me make it better. You picked a good one. Apparently, you picked a good one. So, trusting your decision, trust in that you made a good choice, and he is showing you that now that you made a good choice. Good job. Good. Caroline said, this week I am thankful for my husband. I have had a lot of triggers. He has handled them, mostly them, mostly LOL, really well and is being supportive. Caroline, that's good stuff. Now, it's beautiful that he is helping you with the triggers, but you know me, and my thing is, you can actually do a lot of that trigger work on yourself. It's hard when you're trying to rebuild the relationship to keep coming to them with, oh, I'm so broken about this. Help me, help fix this. And maybe our relationship would be okay. Sometimes it makes them feel like the things are on more shaky ground than they actually are. So be careful with that. Try to be working on your triggers. Come up with a plan ahead of time. Okay, this is something that can trigger me. What is something that I can do all by myself without even going to him? What is something that I can do that's going to make me feel better? When you start practicing that more and more, there will be less of these times where you're talking about bad things that have happened between you. Because the trigger is about that. The trigger is saying, oh, this bad thing has happened to me and I'm remembering this bad thing. Here, come talk to me about it. That's actually a little bit more traumatizing. When you talk about trauma, you kind of traumatize yourself again. So be careful of that. It is great that he is open and receiving about that, but not everybody's man is like that. People carry a lot of guilt and shame, and then they kind of lash out and they don't react that way. So even if you're in that situation where they're not reacting the way Caroline's baby is, don't feel like you are behind. It is perfectly okay for them not to be in that place, and you can still heal. All right, but Caroline, you're ahead of the game right about now, getting that good support, getting that loving from your boo. Linda, hi Linda. Linda said, holding my 2-week-old grandson. Oh, they still do that newborn scrunch when they're that little. Oh, I'm trying to tell you, that is like the best stuff. Babies have a way to remind you how deeply we love. You are doggone right about that. I know that's right. They get that oxytocin flowing. That is what we're going for with our honey. We're trying to get back to that place where we can let that oxytocin flow, that closeness, that I want to be close to you. I want to love on you. I want to give to you. People think that, love is supposed to be that first feeling, that infatuation, the sparks and all of that. That's great and all, but it's that oxytocin release. That's the person you love and you trust. And it's the same way with those babies. It just gives you that spurt of oxytocin. You just feel all the love coming through you. So it can be the same way with your honey. Oh, I'm so jealous, Linda. I am. I'm trying to tell you, get the whole 2-week-old. I am jealous. I love a baby. Oh, I used to work in a pediatric ward, pediatrics and pediatric oncology, and that was like the best thing because all these brand new babies get to hold them, get to feed them, take care of them. It was great. I loved it. All right. And see, look at that. Just that easy. Stuff to be grateful for, stuff to be glad about. Yes, the trauma is happening. Yes, you are recovering. You are on the healing path. However, there are still good things happening. All right. I love it. Oh, I got to go swimming with my son a little bit earlier. I'm teaching him to swim. And I got to go swimming with him, and he was getting it today. He was moving around pretty easily, not freaked out about the water or anything. So I feel good. I had a good day. That's my Thirsty Thursday. I'm just excited about teaching my baby to swim. Caitlin said, other good news. Oh, I love more good news. My best friend confirmed that she's coming down for my birthday weekend. So I'm going to be showing her around Gatlinburg. I know that's right, Caitlin. It's so good when your bestie comes. When my bestie, my best friend has been my best friend since sixth grade, fifth grade. Might have been. No, seventh grade. It was seventh grade where we met. But been my best friend since seventh grade. And it doesn't even matter how long it's been since we last spoke. We pick up talking to each other like, oh, well, yeah, of course. It was yesterday we just talked. So I know how it is when your bestie is coming. Go show her around. Go have a really good time. I hope you have a great birthday. Oh, I love a birthday too. I love to celebrate. I love good stuff. So it's like, I take every opportunity to celebrate. That's why if you ask me, people are always like, "Oh, should I celebrate our anniversary after the trauma, after the betrayal?" Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Because this is part of the marriage. This is a part of it. This is the part where, okay, you are having to get over some bad stuff that has happened between you. You have to rely on your love, your faith in each other, your decision to work this relationship out. for the rest of your life. Okay, that's what this is. It's not anything out of the ordinary. People make it seem like it's just so crazy that anybody cheats ever, but people have been cheating since the beginning of time. Since there were more than 3 people on the planet, people have been cheating. So this is not like saying that there's anything like terribly wrong with your relationship. It does not say saying that you just can't make it. It's saying that this is a difficult part, and then we're gonna go on to the part that's a little easier after that. I'm trying to tell you right now, we're in the part like it's been getting steadily easier. Like it's been better and better and better for like the last 15 years, but especially so like the last like 7. Better and better. He has made up his mind and he's gonna be like the best husband possible. He is gonna show me he appreciates me like he tells other people he appreciates me. I mean, it gets better and better. But you gotta come through some hard parts sometimes. All right. Last thing before we move on to some questions. And if you got questions, keep them in mind because I'm getting ready to answer them. So if you got questions, go ahead and post them. We about to talk about them. But the last thing that I always got to tell you about, girl, I want you to stop asking all those questions. Okay? I know you want to ask. I know you do. I know it's almost painful for you not to, but I want you to limit questions for a while. With trauma comes a reaction in your brain where it wants to know. It wants to know. Your brain is like, why did this happen? How did this happen? What, when, where, how, why, who? Okay. It wants all of the questions answered. And I understand that inclination, but it is a trauma response. It is not helping you to heal at all. Getting the answer to these questions, things that are more painful to pile on top of the pain that you're already feeling, it actually doesn't help you heal any. Okay. It just makes you feel worse in the meantime. And we don't need that. We don't need that. So let's just stop asking a whole bunch of questions. Okay. All right. Can you tell me how you last asked a question and it went to the left? Okay. You let me know. Prove me right. Last time you asked a question that you thought was a perfectly innocent question, tell me how it went. All right. Caitlin, you said 19 years of friendship. Her boyfriend's probably going to have to babysit us when we have to go out. Hey, look, that's all right. As long as you got somebody responsible who can look out for you. It's all to the good. Oh, I know that's right. Me and my bestie been friends for like forever too. So I understand that completely. Go have fun. That is self-care. Going out with your bestie, having some fun, getting a little loose for a minute. That is self-care. You need that. All right. All right. So anybody want to tell me about the last time a question went to the left, went wrong on you? Let me know. All right. So instead of all of the questions about the affair, all the questions about his emotions, all the questions about your relationship, I know you want to ask those. I know you do, but I need you to do something more constructive with that impulse. Okay. If you are going to ask a question, I need it to be constructive. I need it to be doing something for the relationship, not just torturing yourself. All right. That's not how you heal. All right. So this is what I always bring you. The and is what this is called. This is the healing edition, but the and has a whole bunch of stuff on Amazon. All you gotta do is go type in the THEAND, and it is an entire shop with a whole bunch of questions like this. This is the healing edition question. This is 199 questions about healing your relationship. All right. You can deal out 3, go back and forth between you and your honey, answering them back and forth. Now, if you come across one that may be a little sensitive at the moment, it's okay for you to skip. You just sit there, you look deeply into each other's eyes, and 10 seconds later, you can pass. All right. It's an excellent thing to do. Way, way better than the questions you want to ask. Okay. I promise you, the questions that you want to ask suck compared to these questions. Okay. Let me give you a couple examples. All right. This is a fill in the blanks. Usually, when I blank, you blank. Why is that? That's an excellent one. All right. Usually, when I start talking about the trauma, you shut down and get defensive. Why is that? I will tell you about that one before you even have to ask him that one. It is because when somebody is telling you about something you did wrong, you get defensive. That is part of being a human being. He is going to realize that he is wrong, and everybody gets a little bit defensive when they're wrong. Okay. That's the answer to that question. But hopefully you can talk about something other than just the cheating when you ask this. So usually when I blank, you blank. Why is that? It's a good question. Isn't that a better question than what position did y'all have sex in? Isn't that a much better question? Next one's going to be, what would you say has been the hardest thing to forgive me for? Ooh, what if? What if his roles are reversed and you ask him, hey, what if he has to forgive you for something? What is it that was hard for him to forgive you for, but he did? It's a good one. What would you say has been the hardest thing to forgive me for? And one more. What do you wish I healed for you and why? Ooh, that one might touch a nerve, but good one. I like that one. What do you wish I healed for you and why? All right. Aren't those better questions than the questions you've been asking? I want you to stop with the questions you've been asking. I want you, if at all possible, to practice something that I always tell my clients to do. If you work on me one-to-one, I will tell you, hey, okay, we got to stop with the questions completely. Okay. And I mean every question. In all conversations, try not to ask a question. Okay. I give you that mental challenge because if you are in the middle of trauma, you are in the middle of cycles of behavior. Your trauma burns this cycle into your brain. And so you have to do things actively to stop the cycle from happening again. Okay. So if you are in this moment and you are trying to get some point across and it is all about this juicy question that you have to ask, stopping yourself and not allowing yourself to ask that question makes you rethink the whole thing, makes you rethink, okay, what is exactly that I'm trying to ask? How could I say this in a statement form? It will stop you from doing the automatic poking and prodding that you do and at towards him as you're trying to heal. All right. It will slow your thinking down. It will make you rethink things that you were about to say or do and make you think, is this the best way to go about healing? Does this feel healing or does this feel like petty? It will give you a minute to think about it when you don't allow yourself to ask those questions. So I mean everything down to how are you doing today? Switch that around to I hope you are having a wonderful day today. I love you so much. Okay. Try it day to day as you are going through it. It starts to change your brain, and then it's easier to do the healing because your brain is already changing. All right. Does that make sense? You let me know if I sound crazy, but it is a tip that you need to be able to change your brain to regulate your emotions. So try that. Try that. Don't ask the question. Joni said, my husband said he is still waiting for me to say we are going to be okay. And I said, I can't yet. Joni, that's not true. That is what you want. It is what you are working for. Why not proclaim it as an affirmation? If you keep on acting like it's not going to work, it's not going to work. If you keep on acting like a person who is not happy in their relationship, you will be a person who is not happy in their relationship. If you say to him, you know what? Things are going to be wonderful between us. We are going to make it. I love you. You love me. We're going to make it. This is exactly what marriage is for, to be able to come through these hard times together. That is exactly what I'm going for. That is exactly what I am going to make happen in my life. If you're always backing away from taking that stand, nobody is going to believe you, okay? He's not going to believe that anything is going to work out. So he's not going to work hard. You're telling him, hey, don't put your effort into this because I'm not putting mine in. I'm not believing in you. So don't put a whole bunch of effort to me because I'm halfway out the door. That's what you're telling him when you say that. Okay. So you got to be recognizing that you're going against exactly what you want. You want it to work out. You want it to be okay, right? If you're not willing to say that, then you're not willing to heal. And if you're not willing to heal, then you aren't going to be all right. And it will never be all right. And you all will just be not together. And is that what you want? I know that's not what you want. You're here with me. You've been here with me for weeks right now. That's not what you want. So stop acting like that's what you want. All right? Does that make sense? I don't want you out here just doing stuff, okay? I know that the trauma will make you feel like you just gotta be flailing around doing stuff, but you need to stay in alignment with who you actually are and what you actually want. And what you actually want is to be together. You want it to be okay, you want it to work out. Act like that. Believe that. All right. That's why I call you believers. You know, I call you believers in in the Facebook group. I call you believers because that's what you're doing. You are believing that beyond this pain, beyond this trauma, there is still a relationship there for you. Okay. That's why you're doing this at all. If you don't believe that, don't try it. Don't do it. But if you believe that, okay, yes, we will be all right eventually, say it and do everything that you can to be in alignment with that. And that's where you will get. Okay. That makes sense. Let me know. Tell me if I'm talking crazy, y'all. You know how I am. That's a big thing as far as like your friends and family coming down on your decision. If you're not sure about your decision, they're always going to be on you. They are always going to be on you. They're going to be running behind you, talking about, oh, I don't know if it's going to work out. You might get hurt again. This is probably not the person for you, blah, 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 yakety smackety. They are going to be doubting because you are showing doubt. The one thing that I knew from the very beginning is if I wanted to do this, I had to behave like I was sure about it. And in all circles, anybody around me, I behaved like I believe fully that my relationship is fine. It will be okay. The two of us will be happy. Don't you worry about us. I got this. If you are running around and looking sad in the face all the time and acting like the relationship's not going to work out, other people will see that and then they want to help you. Okay. You don't need their help, but they want to help you. And their help is always, well, leave him. You shouldn't be with him. See how he makes you feel. It's a whole thing. So if you don't want that in your life, you have to come at this saying that your decision is sovereign. You are going to have what you desire. You're a damn queen out here. Can't nobody tell you can have what you want, right? And if you act like that towards people who would ordinarily, shame you, try and make you back off from that decision, it will make them back off you. Okay. Caitlin, he said, why does he not want me to say I love you? He looks hurt every time I say it. So I started to say, be safe instead of I love you. Oh, I wouldn't even do that, Caitlin, because seriously, I even in the 180, and the 180 is designed for people who are almost at the verge of divorce. It says not to say I love you, and I still feel like if you feel that, say that. But if you're at a place where it seems like you're not actually going to forgive him, it might actually be painful for him to hear you say that. Does that make sense? Like if he thinks there's no way in the world she's actually going to forgive me, and your behavior is lining up with that thought, then he's going to be like, no, don't say that because it's even more painful because I know that it's not true. You're going to walk out on me. All right. I wouldn't stop saying I love you. I say I love you to everybody that I love because I do. And I don't care if they say it back. I don't care if they feel it back. I don't care. If I love you, I'm going to tell you that I love you, and I'm going to say it loudly and proudly. And that's on you if you want to deal with saying, oh no, I don't want to receive the love. Well, I don't know what to tell you about that because I'm giving it to you. Looking good, 156. I see you over there on Instagram. Hey, girl. All right, let's see. I think sometimes, Cheryl said, I think sometimes I hold back saying, I think we will get past this because I'm afraid he'll think he got away with the betrayal with no consequences. Okay, girl, all right, hold on. And maybe that'll give him the green light to repeat the behavior. Girl, you were saying the thing that everybody says in the exact same words. And I think it's because we've all been brainwashed. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead. I know it's ridiculous, and sometimes I can't stop my brain from holding back. I think I still want to punish him, even though he punishes himself a lot. All right, Cheryl, the first thing is it is not your job to punish this grown man that you love. Why is that your job? Just because he hurt you, you got to punish him? Do you want that to be your job? Is that what you want to be doing with your time and your energy towards this person that you are supposed to love? Because if you make it be like that, if you say that, oh yes, I feel I'm justified in hurting him, I feel like I'm justified in making him suffer and punishing him more than he was justified for cheating, because we cannot say we are justified in hurting the people that we love and then take that away from them. Oh, we're justified because you hurt me. I'm justified in punishing you, but you weren't justified in what you did. That doesn't work. That doesn't work both ways. You can't be that type of person. If you're going to be hurt about this, you can't keep on being a person that is hurting him. Okay. That's the first thing. All right. Holding back is not doing anything to hurt anybody but you. If it's not what you want, you are doing this to simply punish him. So you're not living in your love. You're not living in your truth. You just believe that you're supposed to be holding back because you have experienced pain. All right. Again, if he was like that, if he was holding back because you still lashing out at him, you'd be mad about that, right? He didn't get away with shit, okay? Let me just tell you, Cheryl, you have not been a fun person to be around. He didn't get away with shit, okay? The second you knew, you have been making his life miserable. You have been making him suffer. He didn't get away with a damn thing, okay? There is no way in the world he would ever believe that he got away with anything, because he has had to deal with angry, hurt, wrathful you. And you know the woman scorned saying, okay? You know about that. He has not gotten away with anything, all right? And as far as the green light to go ahead and betray you again, let me explain it to you like this. If you are in prison for a murder you did not commit, what's the problem with committing a murder? Okay? If you're already in the prison, there's no hope of you getting out. Well, all right, might as well kill a few more people, right? There's no incentive for you not to do the crime because you are already convicted of the crime. You are going to suffer for the crime for the rest of your life. So that's the green light. Isn't that the green light to do what you want to do? Because, okay, well, I'm going to be punished for it forever anyway. So I might as well have the fun of it. Okay? Let me tell you like this. You show this man love and forgiveness that he has never ever seen before. You show him something that nobody's ever done for him. Ask him right now, has anybody ever forgiven him? Ask him and see how big of a deal it would be for you to forgive him and act like you forgave him. All right. That is when there are no more green lights to be had. That person that you have loved and forgiven and given a second chance to is not going to do anything on this planet to hurt you again. All right. They're going to try their very, very best to keep their shit intact and not hurt you again, because you are such an incredible woman, and he already found you, and he was trying to throw it away, but you showed him again how amazing you are, and he's like, you know what, I cannot deny any longer how freaking amazing this woman is. Let me do everything that I possibly can to make her happy. Let me make her life for her, because she done made my life. All right. That is where you have the ability to stop this from happening again. If you are all on the side of punish you, whip him, beat him, torture him, he is going to run out and cheat on you as soon as he possibly can again. Because you might as well, if you're going to suffer, you might as well go ahead and have all of the fun while you're suffering. All right. But you tell him, look, I love you. We are going to work it out. I'm not holding back. I'm telling you that you were my choice, and I don't think I'm wrong about my choice. So show me that I'm not wrong about my choice. And act like he's your choice. I'm trying to tell you, it works like a charm. It is the most, it's the most solid way to make sure that this doesn't happen again. It is not a green light to tell him to cheat again just because you forgave. You giving your forgiveness is giving something incredibly, immensely powerful that he has never experienced before. And hey, if you can give him that gift, he is going to try and give you all the gifts in the world. Okay? Does that make sense? Let me know. Tell me if I'm crazy sounding. You said, I know you're right, especially about it only hurting me. Girl, I'm trying to tell you, it just sucked. It did. I did that too. I did he's got to suffer. If he doesn't suffer, he's not going to know that I'm mad. That's insane. Of course he knows you're mad, okay? Just because he's acting all normal, trying to act all normal and be all normal towards you, doesn't mean he doesn't know you're not mad. It means that he wants things to get back to normal, so he's going to treat you as close to that as he possibly can. That's how you heal. Okay? That is exactly how you heal. You start to behave like you are healed. Okay? Nobody gets healed just by sitting around being miserable about it. Okay? That's not how that works. You must actually follow through and act like you want to heal. Do the things that you would do if you were healed. Because then that changes your brain and tells your brain, hey, look, I am behaving in this way. Apparently, that is how I should be behaving to make me happy. So I'm not going to keep on going with the sad stuff anymore. I'm going to go to the happy. All right. Shirley said that makes perfect sense. Hopefully you follow through. Try and just have my voice in your head, Cheryl. You can do this. I know you can do this. Just ask yourself with every action that you are making, what am I doing here? Am I behaving like a person who is hurting, or am I behaving like a person who is loving? That's it. That's all you have to do. Every decision you're about to make, every step you're about to take, hold on. Am I doing this from the pain? Is the pain telling me to do this? And you know it because it's all in your solar plexus here. It's all up in your chest. It's all in your throat. You can feel it when it's something from the fear and the pain. Okay? You're almost desperate to do it because the fear and pain are screaming at you to do it, and it makes it almost painful not to. Okay? You'll know the difference. But then you stop yourself and say, okay, I'm getting all elevated. My heart rate is going up. I feel that thing crawling up my throat. Hold on. Is this about to be out of love, or is this about to be out of pain and trauma? Am I about to react like a person who is traumatized, or am I about to act like a person who is healed and loving? And you got to monitor yourself for that, okay? Catch yourself. Make sure that when you're doing something, you're not doing it because the fear and the pain are screaming in your head, okay? Joni said it makes sense, but why are there repeat offenders? Because people tend to make the same mistakes repeatedly. That's why. Every one of us, okay? That is why, a lot of people have the same exact things befall them over and over again. And you're like, how did you get into the same situation again? It's because people make the same mistakes over and over to learn a lesson, okay? And if they make this mistake more than once, and you are fully there, you are fully present, you're like, I am healing, I am loving you, we are going to make it through this, and they still do it again, all right? That's some pain within them. That is not believing in this love that's being offered to them, this forgiveness that's being offered to them. They might be one of those type of people who lived in a family where they said that they would forgive, and then they acted like they forgave for a little bit, but then they came right back and threw it in his face again. Okay, that's why that can happen. It is how you grew up, how you experience love, how you experience interpersonal relationships that will make it possible for you to be a repeat offender. My husband was sick. I said the reason sick, sad, stupid, it's all pain based. Sick is some kind of mental or physical illness. People who have heart attacks just cheat just as much as people who have depression. It's a thing. It's that there's something physically wrong with your body, and so you use the sex to try and fix the physical thing that's wrong with your body. All right, or because mental illness is still part of the body. Then there is sadness, which is a grief or loss of some kind. Oh, my husband just lost an uncle too a couple of days ago. But grief or loss of some kind, something. It could be a real family member actually losing a family member. It could be losing their job. It could be losing their sense of self. It could be feeling like they're losing their relationship with you. A sense of loss. All right. And then there is stupid. Stupid is not what you think it is. Stupid is all about all the stupid things we get taught about being in a relationship, especially men. Men get taught a whole bunch more stupid stuff than we do because we get taught that we're just not supposed to have sex. But they're taught that they're supposed to have as much sex as they possibly can with as many women as they possibly can. And it doesn't matter if they're in a relationship, get more women. Or else you don't have any worth. All right. So again, all the stupidity that they get tossed as they are growing up makes them more likely to be offenders. But when you have somebody who has been through a lot of trauma, just the way that it's hard to love you through this trauma, it's going to be hard to love them through their trauma. But again, if this is your person, I swear, I feel like that was what I was designed to do. I was designed to understand this man's story, this man's trauma, this man's hurt. I was the one who was designed by God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. I was the one who was here to understand that. I was going to understand his story. That was always something that he said to me. He was like, you just understand my story. That is how it is with me. I hope it's like that with you. I hope that you feel like you understand this person's story better than you understand almost anybody else's. I hope that you understand him, understand like everything that has happened to him, all the pain and the trauma that he's been through, how that has changed his brain and the way that he operates. I want you to, if you are the person who loves him, then you are the person that should be able to know that and react appropriately to that, even when you've been hurt. All right. This past week, my husband had he had a manic episode before he lost his uncle. So even before the loss was experienced, he was already having a manic episode, having difficulty sleeping, and it has taken some years for him to have this disorder and to know that he has it and to be able to trust me when I say, hey, you're a little manic now. It like stresses him out. It offends him. He's like, no, I'm fine. He doesn't want to admit it because I can see that he's sick before he can tell that he's sick. And it's hard, but that was something that he had to build up trust in me in. He had to just, every time I said, okay, yeah, he might deny it, but he's listening. He's trying a little bit harder when he realizes that I see it and he doesn't. So he's like, oh, maybe I am a little manic. And it happens, it's a very short interval now instead of being this long period of time where I'm like, dude, seriously, you don't see this. And he's like, no, I don't see it. I don't know what you're talking about. It's gotten to be a much shorter interval. So he's developed that trust with me. And he could only develop that trust with me because I was the person that forgave him. I don't think he would have developed that relationship with anybody else. He has never, he had never before really even thought that there was anything wrong. So trusting me to understand that there was actually something wrong, it took a little bit of building. It took a little bit of work, but it's just like your trust now. You can build it. You can mold it. You can get it a little higher, a little bit stronger. You can do it. All right. All right. I got a couple other questions, I think. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Karen said, I left for 5 days and I came back. I made up my mind to love him fully. That being said, how do we believe those words, I love you, from them now? And girl, okay, I want you to believe in yourself first, okay? I want you to believe that you are not so crazy, so stupid, so self-absorbed that you don't know when somebody loves you. All right? You did not love this person in a vacuum. You love them and you believe that they loved you. That's how this betrayal happened in the first place. Okay, if you didn't believe that they loved you in the first place, this would have rolled right off your back. You wouldn't have thought twice about it. You'd be like, oh well, whatever, he loved me, and kept it going. But you believed from the beginning that this person loved you, and I'm saying go back to that. I'm not saying just automatically believe them. Believe in your choice. There was something about this person that showed you that they loved you from the very beginning. Okay? Go back to that. Go back and let yourself feel that. All right? Let yourself feel sure about your decision. This is your person. If this is your person, if this is the person that you love, trust that your love is real and that your love wouldn't exist if you hadn't felt his love. Does that make sense to you? Let me know. That's a simplified version of it. All right. I don't want you to worry too much about believing in him. I need you to be regulated right now. I need you to be calmer, more even right now, believing in yourself right now. All that with him, that can come after that. You just work on that with you, and then it will show up in your relationship with him. Because if you believe in your love and you believe that you weren't crazy when you saw his love, so that love must be there, it must exist. If you just go out into the world believing that, he's going to see that. He's going to feel you believing in it, and he is going to show you more things to make you be solid about him saying that he loves you. All right. You all let me know. Does that make sense? Let me know, because it's a little bit of convoluted topic to talk about, but I want you to believe more in yourselves. I think that you chose good people. I don't think that you chose somebody who was going to be a crappy partner. Okay. I don't think you chose somebody who wasn't going to love you. I don't think you did that. All right. It's crazy. Rhea says she's ready to toss out the white flag this week. She says she held him accountable on some things that they agreed to in marriage counseling, but he didn't keep his word. Then proceeded to use my most sensitive traumas against me and chop me down to a tree stump. I won't be able to make it to alive as I have a parent-teacher night at 5:30 Pacific time. And I was asking, like, when was that discussed in counseling? Because what I've seen is, okay, we'll discuss it in counseling. And it's like, it seems like a good idea. Okay, we're for it. But then the relationship is feeling so unstable and unsafe. It is hard to implement those changes because you feel like, oh, if I throw in an extra thing right here, everything is going to blow up. So I always ask, like, how long has it been? Have they had a chance to show you? Sometimes that's how it is. You can't show somebody right that second because the circumstances are a little tight. But as you get a little bit more relaxed, everybody is relaxing, getting themselves regulated, not having their emotions all pinging all over the place. It makes it so it's like, oh, it's a little bit easier to do the thing that I said I would do for you. I feel a little bit more comfortable. I feel a little bit more free. I think I can accomplish it now. So I always say, I want you to do some healing before you start digging into the stuff like therapists want you to dig into. You need to do some healing first, because if you're not healed, you're going to pick at every single step of the way. Everything that they're supposed to do, you're going to be looking at them, pointing the finger. Why haven't you done what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to be working on your own part? And Rhea, that's another thing that I'm always going to tell every client that I have. In this situation, what you're doing is you're looking at his behavior and then you're saying, oh, well, then that means I must give up. No, okay? You give up if you don't love him anymore, if you don't want him anymore, if you don't desire this life with him anymore. Okay, fine. But not because, oh, he's not doing what he's supposed to do, so I'm going to give up. It doesn't work like that, okay? If you did that for everything and everybody, you'd never do anything, okay? You need to realize that your part in this is super important. What you do, how you react. And the second you start looking at him, pointing the finger at him, why are you not doing what the therapist told you to do? You are instantaneously not doing your part. Because you're not tending to your part now. Now you are trying to be this mama. Now you're trying to chastise him and tell him what he's supposed to be doing instead of worrying about what you are supposed to be doing. And I think that's where the argument you were referring to came from. You were trying to tell him, you're failing. You're not doing what you said you do. Okay, definitely not a safe space if that's the case. All right. And then he is feeling like, it wouldn't make any difference anyway because you're always going to be mad at me and it doesn't matter because it's only been this short time and you're already down my throat about it and you're always going to be down my throat about it, so there's no point in me doing it. And then you take that as, well, you must not love me because you're not doing it. And it's not even that, it's just the fact that they feel like they have already failed, so why try? So more than anything, Rhea, don't turn your attention to what he's doing. Don't sit there and count his wrongs. All right. I don't usually even refer to religion when I'm talking to you all about this, because I don't feel like you need it to be able to heal from this. You don't necessarily need it. Now, if you have a higher power you would like to depend upon, feel free. I am all for that, but I don't think that you need it. But there is First Corinthians. First Corinthians is all about love, right? And it is talking to you about the expression of love. Okay. Hold on, love is patient. That's always the first thing we remember. Love is patience. Love is kind. It does not envy, does not boast. It's not proud. It doesn't dishonor others. It's not self-seeking. It's not easily angered, and it keeps no record of wrongs. All right. I love that definition of love. Okay. I feel like it is the most accurate that I've ever experienced in my entire life, because that's what it is. Love is about what you are given, it's not about what you are taking. Okay. And if you are sitting there with your pen and your paper and you're keeping a record of his wrongs, well, he said in therapy he was going to do this, but he's not doing it. That is actually not loving. Does that make sense? I'm not saying that that he shouldn't just that he should just go ahead and not do what he said he's going to do. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying that the second you start looking at that, the second you start pointing your finger, the second you start believing that, oh, I'm doing right, but you're not doing right, you are keeping record of wrongs. You are not acting in a loving way. Then that's making the whole situation feel unsafe for both of you. And then you're going to have a harder time healing. I feel like if you can keep in mind to be patient, to be kind, to not be jealous, to not be boastful, to not be proud, to not dishonor him, even though he might deserve it, even though he might deserve to be punished, to not dishonor him by doing that, to not be seeking for yourself. You need to do this so I feel better, not getting easily angered. I feel like if you're doing that, you are doing the actions of love and forgiveness, and you are not doing the actions of pain and sadness and suffering and anger and frustration. You're not doing those things if you are living according to that, if you are guiding your relationship according to those principles. Like I said, I'm not religious, but again, extremely on point, okay, about what love is. Love never fails. Love never fails. It doesn't. It really doesn't. So this is the person that you love. Put it out there, all right? Believe in it. Know that it's going to be all right. Trust in that fact. Trust in your love. Trust in their love. Trust that this is going to be all right, and behave in those ways that are loving and healed. And then those habits that come from the pain and the suffering will start to fall away, and you'll have that happy relationship that you want. You all tell me, do I sound like I'm nuts? You let me know before we end here today. Do I sound like a nutball, or does this sound like something that makes sense to you? Like, I can do this. I can start to behave like I am healed so that I can start traveling the healing path. Does that make sense to you? Let me know. All righty, y'all. So we're going to end up here. I think I got all the questions. Yes, yes. All right. So I am going to tell you all the last thing that I always tell you all before I go. I want you to start working on your affirmations, okay? I need you to sit with them. I need you to say these affirmations. You mean them over and over and over again. An affirmation will not work if you say it one time during the day, but your other thoughts, the rest of the thoughts that you have in the day are all, I am terrible. I am ugly. I am not the person that he loves. I am not the person that he wants. If all of your thoughts are that, you saying an affirmation, I am beautiful and well loved, doesn't mean anything. Okay. You've got to be consistently saying the affirmation. When you start going down that drain in your brain, talking about, oh, well, he doesn't love me, you need to hear yourself, catch yourself, and then start using the affirmation instead. All right. Affirmations only work if you are telling your brain constantly, consistently, that this is what you would like to believe. And, it's a conversation sometimes with your brain. When you are triggered and it is just a talking to you, sometimes you need to sit down with your brain like you would with like a 4-year-old and say, okay, you are angry. Why are you angry? All right. Yes, you are angry that he has hurt you and he has betrayed you. Yes, you are angry. That's how you do it with a toddler. Yes, you are angry. You are angry. It makes you feel hurt. It makes us feel angry and sad when this has happened. All right. Yes, we have felt this, but is it happening right now? It's not happening right now. We're talking about a memory of it happening. So it's not happening right now. That's not something that we have to keep on stressing ourselves about now, is it? If it's something that has happened in the past and we have been angry about it and we have been sad and we have been upset, do we have to keep being sad and angry and upset? Are you trying to warn me about it happening again? It could happen again, but I don't think it's going to happen this way again. So we're going to watch out for things to happen, but we're going to put this worry down. We're going to put this anger down. We're going to put this sad down for just a little while, and we're going to work on some other feelings for a bit and see if we can come back, and later on this will feel better. All right. It's a little talk with your brain, a little chat. Okay. It sounds a little crazy, but as long as you don't talk back, it's fine. You can talk to your brain and you can hear what it has to say, but you are the thinker. You are not the thoughts. Okay. That your brain working in there, you have a consciousness that has access to that. So that means you don't have to do what your brain tells you to do. You are a consciousness separate from your brain and its reactions. You can say, I don't like that reaction. I don't think that I'm going to do that today. I would feel better if I did it this way. And you can make that choice. Okay. Every time you react, it is a choice. I promise you it is. Anyway, let me see. Let me give you information so that you can carry that with you into your week. This one says, today I am calm. Today my mind is open and I am at peace with who I am. I like that one. So carry that with you today. Look yourself in the eye and say it like you mean it with all your heart. Okay? Look at yourself and you say, today I am calm. Today my mind is open and I am at peace with who I am. All right? Come over here and say it to this camera too. Today I am calm. Today my mind is open and I am at peace with who I am. All right. You say it with conviction. You say it with authority. You say it with assurance that it is the truth. And you look at yourself when you do it, because then your brain has a recording of you saying this, of you believing that you are calm, that you are cool and collected, and you are all right, and everything is going well in your world. It has that tape to play back to say, hey, she said everything was fine. She looked like everything was fine. She was acting like everything was fine. We're going to believe everything was fine. And then your brain starts to calm down. All right. Does that make sense to you? Let me know. If you got questions, comments, thoughts, complaints, I want to hear them all. Please feel free to put them in the comments. But I think that's about it for today. I don't see any other comments popping up. Yep, not on that page either. Okay, good. So let's see. Make your decision. Be assured of your decision. And when you're in front of people, act like you are the queen and you know damn well what you're doing and your decision is sovereign and final. All right. Give yourself lots of love and self-care time. Give yourself lots of affirmations and deep breathing. And I will be back here again next week, as always, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram for the Healing Hour Live. Until then, don't do what the fear tells you to do. Stop asking all those damn questions. And I love you. And I'm so, so proud of you for everything that you're doing right now. All right? All right, y'all. That's it. That's all I got. I will see you again next week. Bye. Bye, Instagram. And bye, Facebook and YouTube.